Hey guys, welcome back to another week of me rambling about what we're doing in third grade. So this will be our second full week, and today was day number 8 of school overall. So my goal for this week is to really actually get into our normal routine. Like I said in the previous vlog, like we were staying outside for a little bit longer for our outdoor recess. We were doing a longer snack break. We were just doing more frequent brain breaks, and I will still do the breaks. I know they're important. They're important for me and for the kids. But I just wanted to stay to our actual schedule, like when we go outside for morning recess, and not staying out 5, 10, 15 minutes longer than we're supposed to, or whatever, or not supposed to, I guess, but that I have down on our schedule. So that's the goal for this week, is try to stay to that as close as possible. And then of course, today we already kind of didn't succeed at that, but I'll get into that. So the reason why we already didn't stick to our whole schedule today is because we had bus safety this morning. That is up to the teachers. We teach it, go over it with our kids, and then we have a bus out there. We go onto the bus and talk about the rules, show them, you know, emergency exits and all that stuff. So that took up a good chunk of the morning. So that just threw off our stuff for like our mini lesson that we would have done, our read aloud for our curriculum that we didn't get to. I would have liked to start some word study, so we didn't get to that either. But I'll show you what we came up with and did for bus safety, I guess. Just kidding, we did that on the smart board, which I already erased. So I can't show you that. But after we had that, we did get into our reading rotations. And just to introduce those, I will talk about what I did for my reading rotations. All right, here is what I had for our reading rotations. So the 4 rotations were meeting with me, Epic, Read to Self, and Freckle. And on Freckle, I had them doing their word study, and since it was the first time we were on Freckle, they were doing their pre-assessment on there. Each one of those rotations was 15 minutes, and I just hadn't really had a chance to sit down and read with my kids, so I really wanted to do that today. So during these rotations, I had like the 5 students back there with me. I just printed off a couple articles from the article of the day section of ReadWorks, and kind of went through there and got to read with each kid. We got to talk about a few places, because one was about like Los Angeles, California, and then the other one was about, one was about tornadoes, and then there was one about dinosaurs. So we just kind of talked about those topics afterwards and like what we found interesting and new, but just was a good way for me to be able to actually listen to each kid read. So I got to do that. And all of those rotations are things they can do on their own. It obviously won't be like that all the time, but I just needed things that I knew they could do right now, so I could meet with my group and they could work independently on different stuff. So, and I did want to get them going on Freckle anyways for word study, and I did want them to listen to some books, and we're obviously practicing our reading stamina, so that worked out well. I'll probably do that this week, and then next week we'll actually, once we're teaching some like specific content lessons, I can get some rotations tied into that. This week our mini lessons are more about like our classroom library organization, talking about genres. So that's what I'll actually get to tomorrow when I teach one of those, so I'll keep you updated then. I was also able to tie in the secret stories a lot then to those small groups when I was reading with them, so that'll be a separate video that you can watch if you're interested in hearing about the secret stories. So that took us into math, and today we kept working on expanded form, but we did up to 6-digit numbers. Most of them did really well, so tomorrow I will make some small groups for that in the afternoon as well, and I can kind of get some differentiated practice on things. Some kids can move ahead, some kids will, you know, need that extra practice on expanded form. And after that, we had indoor recess today because it was raining, so we kind of, after our math, I read some of The Wild Robot, and then we just played, I introduced them to GimKit today. So we did some math on there, doing Trust No One. They loved it, which is awesome. And it was a good way to end the day. So that was Monday, and tomorrow we'll be actually into our schedule, I hope. Okay, see you tomorrow, bye. All right, happy Tuesday. We had a much more normal day today. The sun was shining, it was a little cool out, but it wasn't freezing. So we did get outside for recess, which is awesome, because yesterday with indoor recess and a Monday, and I think it was a full moon, I was tired at the end of the day. This fly needs to leave me alone. Okay, so let's go through and talk about what we did today. Our reading mini lessons are still kind of going through the management phase, so this week is focusing on the classroom library. Again, we didn't really do this yesterday because of we had bus safety. So today we just talked about how our classroom library is organized, and I kind of mentioned to them how these are still not lined up. Like this says box 17, but this is box 5 from when I moved my library. But they were actually really excited to help me, and they wanted to help label the books right then, right there, but I did not print off the labels yet. So I need to do that. But we did talk about that, and it led us into talking about genres, which was awesome because now we can talk about the genre of our read-alouds every day. We are still working on our reading stamina. We're up probably around 10 minutes for like the whole class before someone, breaks stamina. Our goal is 20 minutes, and again, yesterday with it being kind of rainy and whatnot, we didn't get it, and bus safety, we didn't have a time to practice. Today, we probably read for about 20 minutes, but a lot of like breaks within there. So I'm hoping we can get 20 minutes by the end of this week, end of next week. So we'll keep practicing our reading stamina. Our book today was Storm in the Night, and our theme this week, last week was kindness, this week is connections across generations, so just the family. And we talked a lot about the genre of this book after our library discussion today about how it's a realistic fiction book and what makes it realistic fiction. And then we also talked a lot about problems and solutions that were in this book. We did the exact same reading rotations that I showed you yesterday. Again, we'll have more specific content related work as the year goes on, but right now I'm just trying to get them in the habit of working independently while I'm with my group, and they did really well with it again. And a lot more secret story stuff came up during our books today. I printed off some from Reading A to Z, and those are on the Secret Stories vlog again, so you can check that one out if you're interested in secret stories. And we actually did a number talk today. We did not yesterday before lunch, just the morning got away from us. So it was great. I just love hearing their thinking. They're doing really well with those and explaining their thinking. So, and they're also really good at just, even if someone mentions their way, they're good at looking at it a different way and coming up with another way that you could solve it. So number talks have been great. And then this afternoon for place value, we have been reviewing everything still. And then today and tomorrow are just doing mentally 100 more. Today was 100 more and 100 less in 6-digit numbers. Tomorrow we'll do 1,000 more and 10,000 more or less. So we're kind of nearing the end of our place value unit. We were gonna start our math rotations, kind of like our math intervention groups, where I can get them into more differentiated groups today, but we had a fire drill at 2:15. So of course, the beginning of the year, just those little interruptions that make it so you can't quite get all of your stuff done. And then, to end the day, we did our first Nearpod lesson, and we did it about the sun. Our first science unit is space. So I introduced them to Nearpod, and I think they loved it. And this is kind of what we came up with things they remembered about the sun afterwards. All right, so we just kind of quickly did like a little debriefing together. So they remembered that the Earth revolves or orbits around the sun, that the sun is a star, that the sun doesn't rise and set in the exact same place every day, because we talked about how that depends on where it is in the sky, which it's going to be higher in the sky in the summer and lower in the winter. They talked about the sun is the center of our solar system and it doesn't move. And they remembered that it rises in the east and sets in the west. So we'll talk more about how the Earth's tilt affects the seasons, and how if it's summer here in Australia, it's winter, and vice versa for time of day and everything. So we'll keep talking about that, and then we'll also get into the moon phases, so that'll be fun. But that was our day. So I will check in with you guys tomorrow for Wednesday. So see you then. Bye. Hey guys, it is Thursday. I didn't hop on yesterday because I had a lot going on, meetings after school and whatnot. So I'll give you a quick little update. Nothing too exciting going on. The morning's been great. We just are having a struggle making it through the afternoon by following the directions the first time and what else. So also line, just like hard time keeping our hands to ourselves and not hugging and giving piggyback rides and touching the walls. So we're gonna do a few things. But anyways, so I'm gonna go just kind of reading first. Here's what we did yesterday and today. Yesterday we talked about reasons to abandon a book. These are the reasons my kids came up with. So inappropriate language, not a good fit, too easy, too hard, not interesting or don't like it. Actually, I'm gonna put too hard, going back to this one, because I feel like if it's too easy, if you know the words but you're enjoying it, who cares then, right? That's my philosophy. So not interesting if you don't like it, too scary, too graphic, or you find a new book you're excited about. And we did talk about how in 3rd grade, you might find some inappropriate language in chapter books, and the author chose to use that language. It doesn't mean you have to read it out loud. It doesn't mean you need to go share it with somebody, and you could stop reading the book if you want to, but if you see that word, we just don't need to go show everybody to make a big distraction out of it. So we had a good discussion on that. And then today we started just talking about different parts of speech. So we started with nouns. We watched a brain pop video for it, and then came up with some examples. I had some sentences. We identified the nouns and the proper nouns in there. So tomorrow we'll probably do verbs and adjectives, just like a little refresher before we hop into like our writing workshop type stuff. As far as reading rotations, we've been doing the same things, but I did do some word work with them instead of just reading passages. So yesterday we talked about blends and blends at the beginning of the words, and then today when they were with me, we talked about the positions of why, tied in really good with our secret stories because we just talked about sneaky why, and about how if it's at the end of the word, it's usually either going to be a long E or a long I, and just reading words to see whether it was long E or I, and then they did a word sort in that. Otherwise, they did the same rotations that I showed you earlier with the read yourself, epic, and word study on freckle. So again, just getting into those rotation habits. They've been awesome during those. So that part has been fantastic. Zero complaints there. They've been working really hard. They are good at working independently. It's been great. For math, we're still working on place values, so we did 100,000 and 10,000 more or less mentally, and then today we compared numbers and ordered them. I did switch up our math a little bit. I'm doing them in two groups, kind of just have them split on, because some kids, catch on faster, some need a little bit more time. And just doing it all at once, it's hard to really help the kids who need it. So I split my class in half and have half of them working independently. For right now, it's just been on Prodigy or Some Dog. Eventually, I'm gonna make like a daily review where they'll, review some things we've taught, then maybe do some math facts, and then can hop on something while I'm with my other group, and they can flip. So it just makes it so if I need to slow down, I can, or if I can push faster, I can. But we've only done that for the last 2 days, and it's gone pretty well. So just doing those two rotations instead of having them all up at once. So we'll see how it goes, or if I need to keep doing it, but for right now, I have liked that. And again, I've just been using my slides that I do have on TPT, just go through for our whole group lessons. For science, last time I updated you, we had talked about the sun. Yesterday I think we did a gym kit instead, just because we had we had a fire drill in the afternoon, so it just kind of threw things off. And then today we had library, but we still did a little bit of science in between math and library. I gave them flashlights and had them just I had all the lights off, the blinds closed, and they just I told them we were gonna look at shadows, like how can you make the shadow off of an object bigger, smaller, notice the position, like how do you know where the shadow's gonna be compared to the flashlight, and then we tied that into the sun. So tomorrow, I told them tomorrow morning we're gonna go look out and look at some shadows of like our lamp posts and stuff in our parking lot, and then go look again in the afternoon, because they should get smaller since the sun's closer or lower in the sky. The shadows are gonna be longer, like they were with the flashlights, the closer they were, and then as it gets higher in the air above the objects, then their shadows should get smaller. So we will go and compare those shadows tomorrow. And otherwise we had library today. That's about it. So not a whole lot to report, but this afternoon, we had a nice little talk, just because in the afternoon it's been really hard following directions right away and like keeping hands to self, and it's just been squirrely. And I get it, like we're still easing into the full day of school, but it doesn't mean that's not frustrating. Like I can understand, but it still needs to stop. We need to work on it. So we talked about that today. I wanted them to reflect and had them write down a few things they think they could do better. And then I told them too, I'm like, we're gonna have assign spots in line, just because like when we walk somewhere, it's like there's so many of them that just need to like grab the person next to them, and I'm just kind of over it, I guess. So I've never done this with a class before, but it's just, I don't know. I just don't want it to keep going, and I think it'll help some of them just because they seem to keep finding each other as soon as we start walking. So this is what I did. I wrote their name on sit spots, and we have our line, so they'll find their name and stand in there whenever we leave. I'm hoping this will be one of those things where we just do it for a little bit till they, I don't know, get back in school mode and they're fine. It just, I don't know, was things that I shouldn't have to worry about, but I was, so I'm just gonna nip it right now and just give them assigned spots. So there we go. All right, I'm tired, so I'm out of here. Checking with you tomorrow when it's actually Friday tomorrow. Yeah. All right, bye. All right, happy Friday, another full week down. Today was a good day. It went really fast. We did our line spots today. That actually went really well. They did a lot better of keeping their hands to themselves, not giving piggyback rides, all that fun stuff. But today, our focus, we talked about this morning for reading, we talked about adjectives and adverbs, and because yesterday we did nouns and verbs. No, I did verbs as well today. Kind of tied them all in, because verbs they were pretty familiar with already. So then quick overview of those, and we did adjectives and adverbs, watch a brain pop, came up with some examples. So again, just wanted to review those parts of speech for when we start doing more writing workshop next week. And we did our read aloud today, which was mooncakes. And for our reading rotations today, when they came with me, instead of reading, I did some kind of spelling. So I had some one-syllable words and then some two-syllable words, and just really focused on the vowels. If you've been watching my Secret Stories vlogs, I talked about it a lot more there, but I just wanted them to realize, like in the word like hammer, that you need to have those two M's in there, otherwise it's gonna be hamer. And just for them to think about what they're doing and how to make the vowels be long or short. So I did that in small groups of about 4 to 5 while they were rotating through, so they did actually really well with that. A lot of them were doing like one syllable in the middle there, and once we started, I pointed it out, they were able to do a lot better, like thinking about how to make the vowel long or short from whatever they were hearing. So that was actually a good, I'm glad I did that, because I got to see a lot of them, how they were spelling the words, and anyways, yeah, that was good. And then we did not do any math today because we met our first grade buddies. We have homecoming week next week, and we always go to the parade with our first grade buddies, help them get there, help them get candy at the parade and all that stuff. And throughout the year we'll meet up with them, help them with our projects, read with them, all different types of things. So we met them for the first time today, and we were gonna go outside and play with them. So we had lunch and recess, and then I read The Wild Robot, then we were gonna meet with them. But the teacher we're paired with, she's like, they are so tired today, can your kids just read to them? So they came in and they read. We got to meet them, introduce themselves, talk to them a little bit, read to them, went really, really well. And then after they left, then we just went outside for the rest of the day, which was about like, I don't know, 25 minutes, and called it a day. But, oh, also this morning we were doing pajama day, because we got our reading stamina goal yesterday. So we had a pajama day, and this morning we did some flashlight reading. So I'll put some pictures here from our flashlight reading. I put black paper over the windows, had flashlights that the office has for classes to check out to do a flashlight reading. So they had blankets, pillows, some of them made, you know, right under their blanket, flag it out of here. Yeah, so that was a fun way to end the week as well. Yeah, that's it for this week. Next week's homecoming week, so we'll see how the week goes, and if we can stick to our plans of how excited the kids are with dress-up days and whatever else. We get pajama day again on Monday, so I planned that out well. 2 pajama days in a row for me, so I'm not mad about that at all. All right, have a good weekend. See you next time, and bye.